Hey!
Hi. My name's Kelsey. I'm 5'3", a mediocre yogi, and have only met one person paler than me. All of that rhymed, and it was only 3/4 intentional. I live with depression and an eating disorder, so I often hide behind weighted blankets and freeform poetry. I like driving without a destination and meeting new dogs, though I prefer cats in my home. I think this is because my childhood was nomadic with a bark that wouldn't quit. I will share more on this mic than my family would like, but helping others feel understood is what brought me to the stage.
Yeah.
I love a good Greek salad, but I don't do olives. I barely do the feta. I don't really have any secrets, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing yet, and I hope I never find out. I like my coffee black and my bookshelves full. I'm oddly good at eating sloppy joes without being sloppy, probably from training myself to keep my messes hidden. I don't know a lot, but I know every line to Gilmore Girls, and that I have survived 100% of my worst days. I know that poetry is my ultimate metaphor as I choose which lines to break, which rhymes to make while I write my life into its own rhythm. Because I was a young girl in Chucks fighting sandpaper days and turning scrapes into poetry. And I know all of that turned me into the person I am here today. A young woman building marble years, a poetry career, and still wearing Chucks.
Hey!
It's been a while since I performed, but I just dropped an album on Friday.
Oh, shit!
And I'm going on tour, and this is my first stop, my home stage.
Hell yeah.
Because I know that I have people here who love me and don't care if I mess up. Okay, anyway, so what I started with was called My Honest Poem after Rudy Francisco. I'm sure some people picked that up. Okay, first off, amazing job with the poet so far. This is an intense slam to me, and I'm not performing. I'm not competing. Anyway, okay. So women, have you been in the bathroom here?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. There's a quote on the bathroom wall, not where the stalls, it's on the wall by the sink. And I've never resonated with bathroom wall graffiti quite like this one. I want to get it right. Okay. She didn't need to be saved. She just needed to be found and appreciated for who she was. I never needed to be saved. I just needed someone to listen and to let me be who I am. And I didn't get to start figuring out who I was until college, and then really figured out who I was 4 years ago when I moved to Des Moines. And it's almost 4 years to the day that I first stepped foot on a stage.
Whoa.
And this was and in that time, a lot of introspection happened to figure out who I am. And part of how I do that is writing naturally. And that comes through in free writing and stream of consciousness, and then I pull poems out of it. Sometimes that free writing turns into word vomit, which I apparently let be a poem. And this was one of the first ones I wrote. Digression. Writing is the last thing I want to do. I don't really know why this is, because writing is the only thing I need to do. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that shedding a layer of my heart and molding it into words on a page for all to read means molding it into words on a page for all to read.
Yeah.
Maybe it has something to do with the fact that I have been actively shaping my self-esteem into a genuine mirror of a mastered smile, and everyone knows that a happy poem is almost always an oxymoron. Maybe it's because speaking the dissonance of my soul breaks the innocence I've learned to portray and ruins the ignorant ears of those who think they know me, like the ones who ask why a coffee snob like me hasn't had any coffee yet today and it's already 11 a.m. I say nothing and turn to my page and explain to the notebook that I haven't had any coffee because I haven't had a full meal in a while, because I haven't had enough money for such a luxury, and so I drink water to ignore the rumbles and to say thank you to the years that I struggled with anorexia, because they taught me how to fake my health. They taught me how to get through a day without fainting in order to get the body I thought I was supposed to want, a body men would want to touch touch, not take, but they didn't take, they stole. They stole a body I grew to loathe, but then again, I'm told to be grateful for the body that I'm in, because the body that I'm in has so much built-in privilege, it has become translucent. But the thing about being translucent is that no one sees me, which means loneliness goes to bed with me and shapeshifts into the depression that is my body. I digress.
Whoa.
This is why I avoid writing. Because only after reading my own words do I begin to sort trauma from struggle, and only after reading my own words do I realize I've got too much to write about. Dear friend, I know there will be a time when my lack of thought will make you rightfully angry with me. But when that happens, I beg of you, please do not come at me yelling. It breaks the white noise I created in my head to drown the screaming I grew up hearing. Like the sound of 13-year-old underfed and overdrunk delinquents and punks who found refuge in my mama's closed-curtain living room, you know the ones, who shield any real emotion by trying to be the one that sounds the angriest and the most street because their mamas couldn't pull through for them and their daddies were either locked up or locked out. My white noise drowns the screaming I grew up hearing. Like the sound of a 55-year-old stepfather kicking his dog across the kitchen as if it was her fault his paycheck stopped growing. You know the one whose views depended on the football score and which of us kids were around. If we were lucky, the team would win and we'd get a quiet meal that night. Please do not come yelling at me. It sets off the smoke detector I installed in my head to remind myself it was safer to lie still on that basement couch and listen to the screams and grunts through the rotting rafters and tell myself it was just the TV turned up really loud. To tell myself I was safer to stay mute. To tell myself I was safe. I was safe. I was safe. Friend, if you forget my poetic trigger warning, it's okay. I just wanted you to know why I might cover my ears. Our home doesn't hear venom and doesn't know pristine clean. Our home wears off-center frames of the Ferris wheel you captured. It decorates with joy lights year-round. It's obnoxious voices and reason giggle fits. It's eggs over medium with hash browns and late-night chamomile chats. Our home is dreaming of a marriage long before the ring existed. It's knowing we would walk back up that aisle ready to paddle life's canoe together. Our home is bare feet on the rocky shore, happily soaking in the warm lake water, knowing there's no towel waiting in the car. It's the car that has taken us 40,287 miles in the first 2 years and will carry us to every unplanned adventure. It's Dutch Blitz and Ticket to Ride, followed by Survivor and Brooks Wheeler. It's ignoring the dishes again because we would rather spend the evening flipping them. It's ketchup and candlelight because Plan C has always been better than A and B. Our home does not hear venom. It whistles laughter and sings in comfort. Our home is painted on the white of our cat's nose that presses friendship into our cheeks. Our home hears your anxiety and my depression. It's silent couch hugs with tap water and dim lights. And with each glint of sun, the sparkle of my finger tells me the life we are building together is the constant I spent 2 decades searching the wrong skies for.